It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning. Now, just about every one of us has someone in our family, a close friend, or maybe even a relative that is living with osteoarthritis. It is a combination of age, diet, and lifestyle that can be major contributing factors. Once it starts, it can become progressively debilitating. Now, for those after treatment and preferring natural remedies, we went out in search of the answers just for you.
We are here at the truly beautiful Evergreen Lifestyle Village. We've discovered a community of people living with osteoarthritis. So we're going to talk to them about how they deal with the condition and get to walk through their personal journey.
This cross-section of people who live with osteoarthritis have tried various treatments. Increasingly, they favor natural remedies, which work with the body to counteract their condition. Ingrid shared her experience with Graham.
Ingrid, so lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for taking this time out. When you first started to feel these symptoms, they first started to show signs, and you thought, hang on a minute, this could be osteoarthritis. What went through your mind?
Well, it started about 10 years ago, I'd say, and I thought to myself, goodness me, what's this niggling that I'm feeling in this finger? And then I thought to myself, it can't really be spreading anywhere else. And then the next finger started sort of turning in the other direction, and before I knew it, the hand was feeling the pain.
What is your experience of the pain associated to the condition?
This is something that niggles there, and it niggles there, but sometimes the pain becomes much worse, where it's gnawing at the joint. And you also look at the fingers, they start swelling.
What advice would you give to people who might end up going through this as well?
Age happens. And for me, I think that as the aging process takes place, I've got to have the right mindset and the right attitude, positive attitude about your situation, and manage it as best I can.
A few years ago that I first noticed a bit of osteoarthritis in my fingers, and it hasn't got a lot worse, but I worry about it. My biggest fears is not being able to use my hands. I do a lot of writing, and I do all my writing on the computer, and so if I can't do that, that'll be something that really worries me.
Part of the solution is learning how the body's balance of acid and alkaline levels needs to be restored, and Dr. David Naude gave us an idea of how to do this.
Arthritis simply means inflammation on the joints, and this term is used very loosely and broadly, but encompasses many different types of arthritis. Osteoarthritis, or OA, as it's commonly referred to, is one of the most common types of arthritis, but it's also known as wear and tear arthritis. The main process that takes place is the cartilage in the joints begins to thin. Now, cartilage is designed to act as an elastic shock absorbing cushion in our joints, and as that cartilage wears out, our joints lose this ability, and we have bone that begins to develop friction with adjacent bone, which causes inflammation and pain. Most patients over the age of 60, if you assess them, will have some degree of osteoarthritis. So we know that it's a condition that develops with age, although you can get it in younger patients, particularly those who have excessive wear and tear on particular joints. There's a variety of symptoms, the most common one being pain. The other symptoms they'll develop are swelling of the joint and obviously tenderness to touch. As the disease progresses, you start having structural deformity of the joint, and as these deformities develop, the patient develops loss of movement of the joint. And all of these things obviously begin to inhibit the patient's quality of life and how they function on a day-to-day basis. We know that diet affects arthritis in general. We know that the joint fluid that surrounds the joint in arthritis becomes more acidic. The cartilage-producing cells, or the chondrocytes, function best in a more alkaline environment. If we keep our body alkaline, not only do we reduce inflammation, but we can also support our joints. There are a number of natural interventions which are generally less risky and without side effects and safe to use long term. There was a recent study done through Stellenbosch University where 100 patients with osteoarthritis of the hands were recruited. These patients were either given placebo or a mineral alkaline powder to take for a period of 28 days. And what they found was within 2 weeks of taking the mineral alkaline powder, patients had significantly less pain and stiffness and sensitivity of the joints. Almost all of these patients were able to stop their existing arthritis medication.
Multiforce alkaline powder contains readily absorbable calcium, magnesium, and potassium to restore the essential alkaline balance in the body. A. Vogel's Multiforce is clinically proven to help relieve joint pain, stiffness, and tenderness associated with osteoarthritis.